Shalom, shalom. Right, so I'm going to get into it, the live lesson. It's like I was just making sure the sound was working. So the title of this lesson would be, what do you free will Christians have to say about this? Okay. It's like, yeah. See if I can pull it back up. What do you free will Christians have to say about this? Okay. There's an article that I found that was posted like a couple of days ago on October the 19th. So recent, very recent. If I can get it. Yeah, there it goes. Posted on October 19th, 2023 by Fizz.org News. Title reads, Scientists, after decades of studying, concludes we don't have free will. Okay, and we already knew this, right? The one that's got this truth, we already knew this, right? That we don't have free will. Okay, free will is just an illusion. Okay, illusion to make, it's just an illusion that make us think that what we do is on our own consciousness, right? You know, so the title is, what do you free will Christian have to say about this? What do you free will Christian have to say about this? A scientist concludes that we don't have free will. Okay, so do Christians? I looked up this. Do Christians believe in free will? Okay, Christians who are influenced by the teachings of Jacobus, Arminius, Arminius, such as Methodists, believe that while the Most High, or while God, which names Yahawah, while the Most High is all-knowing and always knows what choices each person will make, he still gives them the ability to choose or not choose everything, regardless of whether there are internal or external factors. Okay, free will, Christianity. Okay, and because you know it's an illusion, right? There's no getting around of saying that we have free will. The answer is we do not have free will, right? You know, everything we do, everything we do is predestinated. Okay, you know, our life is already written out before we even, even is born. Okay, everything's already written. Everything's predestinated. Okay, so I'm going to read. What does Christianity teach about free will? Free will. Christianity teaches that the Messiah gave humans free will. This this is the ability for humans to make their own decisions. It means that although the Messiah made a world and it was good, it is up to humans whether they choose to do bad or do good or bad deeds. Okay. Okay, and a scripture that's coming to my mind. Proverbs 16:9. Proverbs 16:9 reads, a man's heart devises his ways. Well, his ways, like it. But the Lord Yahweh directed his steps. Okay. So I'm going to read that again. A man's heart devises his ways, his way, but the Lord Yahweh directed his steps. Okay. So Yahweh Shah, he controls, our destiny, basically. And now, too, we can make our own plans, but the Lord determines our steps, right? So this defeat that free will doctrine, right? You know, that this is the ability for humans to make their own decisions. It means that although the Most High made a world and it was good, it is up to humans whether they choose to do good or bad deeds. Okay? I'm going to read this again. Believe that while the Most High is all knowing and always knows what choices each person will make, he still gives them the ability to choose or not choose everything regardless of whether there are any internal or external factors. Okay? So I just read in that T, we can make our own plans, but the Lord determine our steps. So, we can think about doing something, right? We can think about doing something, but Yahweh Shah, he will, he will, change our path, right? He will change the course of our actions, right? You know, that you have a lot of people, you ever had that, that time where you feel like, you wanted to do something, right? But you end up doing something else, right? That's Yahweh Shah controlling, you know, your movement, right? Controlling what you do. We can go to that word directives, right? Means directives, okay? To be set up, be established, be fixed, okay? To direct toward, to be prepared, to ready, to direct, okay? So Yahweh Shah, he direct our path, right? He direct our course, okay? Provide, make provision. So he established, he established our course of action, right? You know, he established our course of action, right? Okay, I'm going to get into this article here. So scientists, after decades of study, concludes we don't have free will, and I might butcher his name. Um, so I believe the scientist's name is Robert Spolsky. Okay. Um, I have another piece up here. Okay, because it all goes back to because it mentioned the article mentioned. It means that although the Most High made a world and it was good, it is up to humans whether they choose to do good or bad deeds, right? So they're saying that it is up to we make the decision whether we want to do good or whatever we want to do bad. But I'm going to read this in Isaiah 45:7. It reads, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these. Yahweh do all these things." Right. So Yahweh Shah, he create good and he create evil. We don't create good. We can't create good and create evil, right? You know, because we are in the flesh, right? If we just wanted to do evil all our life, the world would be upside down, right? You know, there'll be no more flesh, right? We got Wiki E, he's the evil and all evil, but he's not even, Yahweh Shai directing his steps, right? I'm talking about Wiki E, the top banker at least. They are evil, right? But they're not, they can only go to the balance of doing evil, right? This is why this is why the Bible says that it was if it was all possible, there were no flesh to be saved, right? Okay, or roughly paraphrasing. You know, so we know that Yahweh Shah, he controlling, he directing these steps of Wiki E, right? He's not letting Wiki E do go beyond and above of his wickedness, right? Even though he sort of kind of is, but he's not gonna get towards the elect, right? Okay, so we don't have that power of doing good and doing evil, right? It's Yahawah who controls that. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. Okay, not us, but Yahweh does do everything. Okay, at least what the Christians don't get, right? It's another doctrine, that's got to be cast down, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna get into the article. No, I'm not gonna read this whole article. I'm just gonna, read some bits and pieces of it, and I'm gonna link it in the description. If you all can, all want to go, check it out for your own use. Okay. Okay, so after I'm gonna read here. It said reads after more than 40 years studying humans and other primates, Spolsky has reached the conclusion that virtually all human behavior is as far beyond our conscious control as the convulsions of a seizure, the division of cells, or the beating of our heart. Okay, so this scientist, so-called, has concluded that you know they are what concludes that what we do in our action is beyond our conscious, right? It's beyond our control. Okay, it's beyond just these cells in our body, right? Okay, and I'm gonna read this. It says this means accepting that a man who shoots into a crowd has no more control over his fate than the victims who happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It means treating drunk drivers who barrel into pedestrians just like drivers who suffer a sudden heart attack and veer out of their lane. Okay, so he basically saying that if you have a heart attack, you can't you can't you are not you're not in control of you having a heart attack, right? And if you have a heart attack and hit someone, you know, while you're driving, you don't have control of that, right? So if a man go shoot up a crowd, you can't say that he had he wanted to do that, right? He had control of doing that, right? You can't say that. So they basically saying that if a man go shoot up a crowd, you know it wasn't his own consciousness doing that, right? Because it wasn't his own consciousness to go shoot up the crowd. It was Yabba Shah that controlled that person going shooting up that crowd, and the victim, whoever being the victim of that bullet. So the same way that a man can go and shoot up a crowd and he have no conscience over it, then a person who drink driving, right, and they hit someone, you know they should be treated just as a person who have a heart attack, that they have no control over, you know because it wasn't it wasn't their conscious of having a heart attack, right? It wasn't, they didn't say that they wanted to go drive and have a heart attack, right? So I'm just gonna get a precept, right? And I'm gonna just filter out all out to the scriptures. Isaiah 58 and 8 verses reads, "Then shall thy light break forth the morning." Okay, like that's the right scripture I wanted to get, 55 and 8. Okay, Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Lord Yahawah. Okay, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. Okay, so the way we think is not the way that, so we can think it's something else, right? And Yahweh is, is thinking, something else, right? You know, his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, right? You know, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts, right? So, which shows that we don't have free will, right? You know. So I'm gonna go back to this article. It says the world is really screwed up. The world is really screwed up and made much more unfair by the fact that we reward people and punish people for things they have no control over. Spokesky said, "We got no free will. Start attributing stuff to us that isn't there, right? You know." So again, going back to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24, it reads, "Man's going are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man that understand his own way?" Right. So man's going are of the Lord. Okay. So again, it goes back to Proverbs 16 and 9. Yahweh Shah, he directed our steps. Okay. Right. Proverbs 20 and Proverbs 16 and 9, he directed our steps. Okay. Our going, our step, right? So man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Right. So we have free will, you know, we that means that we have free will, you know, we couldn't understand why we were doing some of the things we were doing, okay? You know, sometimes when we do something, we don't understand why we're doing it, right? Because Yahweh Shah, he thoughts are higher than our thoughts, okay? You know, sometimes we don't understand why Yahweh Shah do some of the things he does, right? You know. Um, so Splosky said Splosky, okay. Let me see. 32 and 29. It's like, yeah. I'm gonna read this. Since Bosky, a MacArthur Genius Great Winner, is extremely aware that this isn't out their position. Most neuroscientists, most neuroscientists believe humans have at least some degree of free will. Okay, so so these are scientists, neuroscientists, which they study, the um, neurons, right? Atoms. Scientists believe humans have at least some degree of free will. So these scientists, physicians, believe that we have free will. Okay, because I always go back to that Christian doctrine. Okay. Let's see, Job 33, 15. And it reads, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man and slumbers upon the bed. Okay, so when you're in that deep sleep, which around mainly happen around midnight, all right. So when they're going to a deep sleep, then he opened 15 verse. Then he opened the ears of men and sealed their instructions. Okay, who does that? Yahawah does that. Okay, I'm gonna get that word. I'm gonna get that word instructions. Okay. The right direction, which instructions like it goes back to the right direction, right? Direct our steps, okay? Direction, which goes back to Proverbs 69. He directed our steps, okay? Direction, okay? Dictate, you know. So we don't have no degree of free will, right? You know, we don't have humans. We do not have free will, okay? You know, again, everything's predestinated. That's why you get the illusion that we have free will, okay? Because we can think of doing something, right? Like again, I can think, of just wanting to eat, right, or wanting to drink something, okay? I can do that right now, but it was already, predestinated that I'm going to do that, okay? It was already sealed into my mind that I'm going to drink something today or that I'm going to eat something today, right? You know, so we don't have no degree of free will, we don't have some degree of free will because everything's predestinated. You know, me doing this lesson, right? You know, that was being that was sailed into my into my mind, right? That I was gonna wake up on this day and do this lesson at this time, you know, so forth and so on. Okay, and there's some more. I'm gonna get Job 33 and 15. It's like it. We get Job 13 and 4. It reads, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. These are talking about the scientists, the doctors, right? They try to play Yahweh Shah, try to play that they try to act like they are Yahweh Shah, right? And that they have the cure of all things, right? Ye are forgers of lies, right? You are physicians of no values, right? Whichever physician, which just goes back to the word doctors, right? The healthcare, right? Scientists. Okay, you know, you're different. You know, a person, the word physician would mean a person who is qualified to practice medicine. Okay, physician versus a doctor, right? You know, it's a general term for a doctor who has earned a medical degree. Okay, so a physician is just another word for doctor, right? A scientist, okay, because they're practicing, right, medicine. Okay, so these are all physicians, right? All the neuroscientists, these are physicians or no values, right? You know, doctors or no value, okay, all right, because they don't know what's going on, right? They don't know how they're so focused on they are in the flesh, right? They're so busy in the flesh, okay. They don't understand things higher than earth, right? you know just like heaven is higher than earth, so is Yahawashah out higher than our thoughts, okay. So do most philosophers, okay, and the vast majority of the general population think we have free will, okay. Free will is essentially to how we see ourselves, fueling the satisfaction of achievement or the shame of failing to do the right thing. Saying that people have no free will is a great way to start an argument, right? Because people get so emotional when the truth come out. That's why people get emotional when the truth come out, right? People don't want to hear the truth, right? They want to, they're Wiki E with his different philosophies, his doctrine had dumbed down the people to think that they have free will. Okay, but I'm not going to read this whole article, and I'm just going to stop right here. Okay, because I pretty much brought the point. We don't have free will. Everything is predestinated. Everything is controlled. You know, our day-to-day life is directed by Yahawah. Okay, so we are machines, right? Because we just clay, right? We are just earth, earthly minerals, right? Material, right? You know, we just nothing much about spirit and fleshly bodies, right? Okay, so again, I'm gonna link this article in the description box, you know, but you know, I hope that this lesson was edifying. I'll close out here by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah Bashem 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 QADASH. Until next time, I will say Shalom.